we are. Hey, Mr. Group. Hey, Miss Ferbert. Mr. Group or Miss Ferbert, you guys can hear my voice? Great. Awesome. Hi, hello. How's Chloe doing? All right, I see there's a few more people logging on, so I'm gonna start. If you have questions, put them in the comments box, and I'm gonna do my best to answer them. But first of all, I just want to say thank you for joining me today. We are in a very incredible, unique time right now, and I just appreciate our partnership so much right now. I want you to know that the staff members, I think in times of crisis, people either step up or they crumble, right? And our staff, the teachers, all our support staff, whether it's in our school or across the network, have just really stepped up. It's been really inspiring, and I'm so proud to be part of Public Prep and part of Girls Prep. Everybody's working really hard to try to innovate and try to support families as best as we can. I'm also a fellow parent of a Girls Prep scholar as well as a little pre-K 3 student, and I know how challenging this time is for parents right now. I'm working on the first grade team right now and creating content, and I have a first grader and I'm still struggling with figuring out how do I structure her day, what do I need to do to make sure that she feels supported. So we're all in this together. We're gonna figure things out. And I wanted to just create this opportunity for anybody on right now to ask any questions you might have, name any challenges you might be facing. So feel free just to post them right in the comments box. Hey, Miss Lopez. Miss Pimentel. I hope Wendelin's doing well. One thing I'm going to get up for 1 second. One thing I think maybe I can, well, anybody's trying to think of a question to ask. One thing I wanted to say is, in terms of our priorities right now, it's, I think, having routines at home. So figuring out what kind of routines can we have at home. It's not going to be school exactly, and that's not our goal. We know it's not going to look exactly like things look at 681 Kelly Street, but what kind of routines can we put in place? And then the second priority, and you all know me, I love math, I love science, I love the arts, but reading is really crucial in this time. So I would say that is the other really big priority, is thinking what do we have in place for our students to be reading books independently. They hopefully took lots of books home with them, but we also have Raz Kids and a few other digital book sources that are available. But for routines, I'm going to see what this looks like. I've kind of been doing a day-to-day schedule for Zosha. This is our first grade schedule, and it's not perfect. The goal is 2.5 hours, but we see she logs on Facebook. One of our friends organizes a story time at 9:15. Yes, this is from yesterday. She went on this New York Museum visit digitally. She had a play date with her sister, lunch. She's still napping, which is great with her little sister, so we have a few hours of respite. And then we put in time for the math packet and the reading packet and independent reading, and then trying to get outside on our patio. And then this is our schedule for today. It looks a little different, but we're still putting in time for Raz Kids. That's something her teacher's been reaching out about. The packet work, having a little play date with her friend on the iPad, her meeting with her teacher, lunch and nap. Again, those are part of our routine that help us keep in line, right? Still going to bed at the same time, waking up, keeping a routine, and then putting time for Dreambox or Raz Kids after the packet work. So that's just one way. My wife and I have been working on trying to keep a schedule and a routine. Yeah. So I see a question about a Raz Kids code. So for any login information, the best person to go to right now is your Scholars Classroom teacher. We've been sharing that and with all the teachers, their own kind of teacher logins, making sure everybody has that in place, and they can pull up those logins. Often, if you log in through Clever, it should take you directly into your Raz Kids account or into your Dreambox account. So if you need logins for those things, reach out to the teacher, or also do it when they call you and maybe they're doing FaceTime with your scholar. They can walk you through it as well. I know a lot of teachers have been walking through families through Illuminate. Yeah. One thing you'll notice about the way we're organizing our learning right now is that you're getting calls from staff members, from teachers in our school, and that's something that's really important to us. I know in the DOE I've seen models of teachers kind of just recording lessons, and for us it's really important that we have more frequent touch points with you all. In which way, through those touch points, we're hoping to continue to build a spirit of community as best as we can. I think that's the hardest thing about not being in our school building, is having an opportunity to be together, and that's what makes our school special, right? Wednesdays are supposed to be our unity meeting days. Those are the times that we build, and that's what makes schools an enjoyable and lovely place, right? So that's through our calls, through FaceTime, through Google Hang, through some other things that we're kind of piloting and trying to figure out, is how we can continue to build community while we're not in the building. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I miss Priscilla too. I hope she's well. Yeah, my family's, everybody's healthy, thank God, and just trying to figure out our routines here to make everything work. Um, so I see a question about the math work. Do we need to take a picture of all the problems solved or just problem number 5? Can you, sorry, what grade is that for? Selena. So I would say for the math work in the upper grades, do your best with the Illuminate quizzes to put that in. I think for the math work, right now we don't really have an expectation around uploading yet. That might change in the coming week. But for now, upload what you can. Some classes have already started using Google Classroom. Some classes have already started holding Google Classroom, and you can do your best to upload through that. I think one of the shifts you're going to see is that we want to focus on being able to focus on quality and maybe not quantity so much. I know these packets from last week, it was a lot of content. It's great for keeping kids busy, but we want to make sure the work is purposeful and meaningful for the students. Yes, password questions, continue reaching out to the teachers, schedule a FaceTime call and have them help you walk through it. Thanks, Ms. Lopez. For grade 3, just problem 5. Video chats with classes, teachers are starting to work out those systems. So that's definitely a question directly for the teacher. I just joined Marie Curie Classroom, had a video chat today on Google Hang. So I was able to join them for just a few minutes on that. So reach out to your teachers. We are working through systems. I think we might start trying out Zoom, which is a cool communication platform. But right now, things might not feel as aligned because we're all just trying to find what tools will best help us create a sense of community, what tools will help us to keep our students engaged in the work, and what tools will help us to build a partnership and work together, make sure that you feel supported in the work too. Hi, Ms. Roldan. Working on the report cards, Ms. J has actually been trying to convert them, I think, to PDFs. I think you'll have an update on that in the next few weeks. So we're working on that. Oh, hi, Wendelin. I can't wait to go back to school either. Miss you. Yes, yeah. Had a lot of students already when I connected with families talk about coming back. I think it shows what a special place we have. And we can't recreate it, right? We're not asking anybody, not asking you. I'm certainly not asking our teachers. Hi, Jade. Not asking anybody to try to recreate our school. It's just not possible. Right now, it's just not possible to recreate what we have in that special building. What we want to do is focus on the basics. So like I said, having routines in place, focusing on reading first and foremost, making sure there's enough time to find that. One thing I didn't mention earlier is trying to find a workspace at home that can be reserved for schoolwork. I think that can help engagement and can help separate. This is my home playtime. This is my home school time. One thing I've really appreciated is all the families who are sharing. Hi, Rachel. I've seen all the families sharing resources and ideas. I think sharing the pictures of what you're doing, what the girls are doing, what the boys are doing in pre-K is so, so special. It gives us lots of ideas. Hi, Umu's family. One example of that is somebody the other day posted something about Rosetta Stone, and that was so great. I'm originally from Poland, and having my girls know Polish is really important to me. So I set up that Rosetta Stone account for Polish for Zosia to, um, start practicing a little bit more on her Polish when she has time. Hi, Montana and Santana. Um, so continue posting resources, continue posting videos and pictures of the girls. Send them to your to the teachers. I think those are really special moments that help us to continue to build community and continue to help us be together and working together. Hi. One thing, one challenge that maybe I'll give is I've seen some pictures and videos of the boys posting the science projects they had. I think this is maybe in grades 2 and 3. But definitely continuing to have the girls try different science projects and posting those as well can be a fun activity for the girls that doesn't maybe feel like work, but it's a great way for them to problem solve and think through interesting real problems. Hi, Pamela. So I think that's a great way to interact. Any other questions? Trying to find my notes. I would say in the next couple of weeks, just knowing that we will continue to try using different tools. We have a few more read-alouts coming. I'm going to do Varro's Beautiful Daughters in the next couple of days. I know Mr. Barone has prepared one for the girls and boys that he's going to be sharing soon. So we'll continue sharing those resources. Hi, Vani. Hope you've been playing chess. We will continue to share resources on the Facebook page. As we maybe start using Google Classroom more, hopefully be able to provide some additional videos. Yeah. A question about technology. Say hi to Jamie. Hi, Jamie. So she's asleep. I know she'd love to see you. In terms of technology, right now, due to the mayor and governor's shutdown order, we're not able to provide any more resources for families at this time. One thing I would say is all the packets, all the work, it's not perfect, but it's always available through your smartphone. We've tried to make it as low tech as possible, and I know that's not perfect, but that's a good way to kind of do your best with it. Otherwise, continue messaging challenges to your teachers. We talk, we have lots of meetings, so we've been doing our best to highlight families that might have the highest need for tech resources, and once we have some systems to be able to do that, we'll do our best. But right now, the situation just doesn't allow for us to be able to have the school open to distribute technology. Writing classes, so I think within the ELA curriculum, ELA packets, there should be some writing assignments. As we kind of develop, we're basically what's happening is it's like building a rocket while you're on your way to space. We're basically trying to develop a new school system in some ways, or a digital school system for a brick and mortar system, right? So we can't replicate everything that we've had. We're going to do our best, and things are going to change over the coming weeks. So you will see a focus on specific tasks. So maybe one writing assignment where we want the girls to go through the specific writing components. So it'll be really focused. So we're going to do our best. And I guess one thing I want to make sure that is messaged clearly to you all as our partners in this work is that we're not expecting perfection. and we shouldn't let perfection be the enemy of good. That's one of my coaches told me that last year, and it's stuck with me. We have to try our best. We want to keep the girls excited about the work they're doing. We want them to feel empowered to lead their own learning. I think there's an exciting opportunity there where the girls can really engage in the work on their own, and we can let them lead questions about asking them about what they like to do, and exploring that. I know we found an old box of these little dinosaur toys for the girls, and they were playing with it. So now we've been watching more movies and reading more books about dinosaurs, and we're kind of letting their interests lead that work. So take opportunities to, I think a good thing to do is let's listen to the girls, let's listen to the boys, and they can lead some of this work. What we want to make sure is that when they're ready for the work, we have the resources available for them. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, representing. Try to wear my girls prep swag as much as I can for now. Any other feedback or questions? I'd love to take some time to be able to answer any questions you might have in the next 15 minutes or so. One thing I've heard from families that's come up a few times is having the girls connect together. I know a few classes have been experimenting with Zoom, but I would encourage you to maybe when your teacher or your point of contact reaches out to you, if there are students your scholar wants to connect with, like friends they haven't talked to in a while, let the teacher know, and then she can ask for permission from the other family, and maybe as a community we can arrange digital meetups for the girls where the girls can be reaching out to each other, calling each other, because I think that's the part that's really missing, right? Is the community sense. Are all the classes supposed to do Zoom? Not at this time. There are classes that are trying it. If that's something you're interested in, I would definitely mention it to the teacher when you talk to them. Definitely let them know. Right now, we're still trying things. We want to make sure that whatever we implement, we're implementing it well. That's why we kind of started off basic with just the packets and just the calls. I think it's really important that we build slowly. I think one thing that's important to know is as we're doing this planning, we're planning with long-term in mind. We're planning with the idea that our school's going to be closed maybe for the remainder of the year. So things that we're thinking about this long-term. So that's why we don't want to rush into anything, because we want to make sure that the systems and routines we're setting up are sustainable and manageable. So I see a question, how can we really speak to a teacher if we have a question? So I think there's a few ways. I think whatever your teachers have been doing to reach out to you, just respond to them in that same manner. So if you got a call or a text from them, reach out back to them. For classes that have Google Classroom, reaching out to them through that, or your point of contact. And if you've had a hard time reaching anybody, you can let us know on the Facebook page. You can text me back from the Kinvo messages. See if people can comment about the remainder of the year. I'm not saying that is the case. That's just the way we are planning. That's the way we are thinking. Hopefully, we're back April 20th, right? That's the idea. That's the hope. But as a school, we can't, that's not the way we can plan to ensure that we're doing the best for, in order for us to do our best, we have to make sure that we are planning long term. That's really important. But hopefully we're back April 20th. Comment about my hair. My barber Reynaldo is closed, and I didn't get a haircut before the shutdown. order. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Um, Hopefully I can get a hold of Ronaldo, but not likely right now with the shutdown order. Yeah, Miss Martin, I've been encouraging everybody to join Facebook. I think if you're in touch with families, I know for many reasons people choose not to join Facebook, and that is understandable. I think right now Facebook is going to be a really great time, a really great place for us to connect and share resources. So do encourage your colleagues or families from other families to join Facebook if they're not on there. Ensure that they're getting the Kinvo messages. Those are kind of the primary ways we have for sharing resources. I would say Miss Martin is also a great resource on the Facebook page to help direct if you have concerns, if you have any needs, making sure that you're communicating with us so we can try to problem solve together. See if there's any other questions. I think, yeah, if I had to stamp any big takeaways is just to know that you're doing great. Try your best. Don't get discouraged. If you miss an assignment or you do 5 or 10 minutes less or you don't finish a task, it's okay, and don't get discouraged. What if we don't have Kinvo? You should definitely have Kinvo. I see that you've already emailed closures. That's great. Make sure you also reach out to the teacher. She can let Miss J and Miss Martinez know in the office, and they can ensure that you get it. Kinvo is a really important tool, and you don't actually have to download anything for Kinvo. It's just making sure that you're getting the messages that are coming out on our end. So making sure that your number is updated in our system. But families on the receiving end, you don't actually have to download anything. It just means that you'll get the messages that I send, or Ms. Ramirez or Ms. Marcano or Mr. Group at the home office. No, the girls, we've been doing nap time, and Zosha's still napping with her little sister. It's been really great for us. It means that we get like an hour and a half without the kiddos, but I'll let her know. Maybe she can connect with Chloe at another time too. It should be great. But yeah, I'll let Zosha know that Chloe says hi when she wakes up. Ms. Martin, anything you'd like me to touch on, or maybe you've heard on the family end? Hi. One thing I will say is that we are going to continue trying to share videos, whether it's the read alouds, there's going to be a couple more coming out, or the kind of training videos. Hi, Joyce and Shalom. So keep looking at those. I think if you have any questions, make sure that Leon Cameron, hey Chloe, if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the Facebook under the videos, and we will do our best to answer those questions. We're all monitoring the Facebook page, and our Kinvo messages, so we are going to do our best to continue answering those questions. But the more questions you have, please let us know. Hi, Adam. Thanks. I'm going to definitely pass along your thanks to the teachers. You should all be really proud of this community. Teachers have been working incredibly hard. Like I said at the beginning, just been really inspired by the way they've all come together, and in this really difficult time, right? Everybody's impacted by this. Many of our staff members have kids at school that they're trying to take care of as well. And everybody's just been really working really hard. So, hi, Oshamar. So definitely give them those shout outs also. If you respond to my messages on Kinvo, I'll sometimes screenshot them and text them to the teachers when you give them a shout out. So continue sharing that with them, and knowing that it's not going to be perfect, right? It won't be perfect, but that if we work together, if we assume positive intent, try to problem solve together, things will work out just fine. Sarah and Allison, hi. I'm gonna stay on just for a few more minutes, and then I have some more meetings coming later today that I have to get ready for. I miss Shalom. I miss greeting so much too. It's always been like one of my favorite parts of the day. Is I've always rushed to school to make sure I'm there to open that door. Hi, Angel. So I definitely miss that part of the day too. We can do a digital handshake of some sort. And after I log off, and definitely a shout out to Miss Martin and Mr. Malcolm, who the beginning of the week, last week, I guess, helped with some supports we put in place for families. They've been working really hard on your behalf as well. I miss seeing you guys too every day. I think maybe for the next call, we'll try it over Zoom, so that way we can see each other's faces and hear each other's voices to do this work also. But I'm gonna need some time to figure out the technology behind that a little bit. So in terms of school resuming, right now we're going to be following the Department of Education. So when the DOE schools open is when we will open. Right now, what was last announced is that April 20th is, I think, the end of the school shutdown. What I will say to that is that that's the hope, but as you've seen, the situation is constantly changing, and that could be extended. But as soon as we know, we've been working really hard to make sure that as soon as we know something, we can communicate it with you all. I know there's a lot of anxiety in not knowing, and a lot of anxiety in being unsure about the things that might be happening. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping up here. It was so great to see so many of you in the comments, and thank you for the questions. If you have additional questions, please post them in the comments box on the page here, and somebody from our team will do our best to answer them. And make sure you just open communication. If you find yourself that you haven't heard from a staff member in 2 or 3 days, definitely let us know. Our commitment right now is that each student is getting at least 3 calls per week. So if that hasn't happened, or you're having hard time connecting, please let us know so we can help facilitate that and see what barriers or challenges might be happening. Great. Any final questions? All right. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Remind the girls to think and work hard all day, every day. Let them know that we miss them dearly, and looking forward to connecting with you all in a variety of ways over the next couple of weeks, and even looking more forward to being able to greet you all at the door, hopefully as soon as we can. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.